Hi, I'm Jeff with Precision Replacement Parts. Today we're going to be installing WFK 141081. It's a 4-piece Beltline kit, but today we're going to do the passenger side door. The driver's side door is basically the same. It fits GMG bodies like this 1985 Monte Carlo. Please go to our website for complete make, model year information. A difficulty scale of 1 to 5 is about a 3.5. Set aside about 2 hours to complete this job properly. Some of the tools you'll need are screwdriver set, socket set, rivet gun with 1/8 inch grip rivets, vice grips, drill bit number 29 size, and a door panel removal tool. Okay, we're going to get started. To remove the actual belt lines here, you're going to end up removing the whole door panel. The reason being is there's a guide down here for the glass that you need to loosen in order for the glass to come down far enough to get the belt lines on and off. So you need to remove the window crank, 2 screws here, a lock mechanism, and there's 2 screws here with a variety of clips around the actual perimeter of the door panel. So we're going to get started with the window crank here. There is a plastic washer in between the actual panel and the window crank. That's where you want to get in with. And what works really well is our spring clip removal tool here, because it's actually a spring clip that is holding this on. So you want to work between the plastic washer and the actual window crank here. Turn it until it kind of clicks through. You'll know it's when it's actually loose, and you just want to work it off here carefully so you don't lose the actual spring clip that's right there. So you can push that back on so you don't lose it. Take the actual plastic washer off. Now we can tackle these 2 screws. You'll notice we're missing a trim piece here, but this one's here. All you really need is something flat in order to pry this off. Carefully get behind it. Put it off the side so you don't lose it. Then we can take these screws out here. Next we'll just, unscrew this, bring it off. Then we'll tackle these 2 screws right here. One thing you want to do with something like this is just do one side at a time so you can use the other side as a reference. And pull out this way and up to get the door pad off. Now there's going to be, you want to take the upper section off first. There's a clip here and here. You'll need the clip removal tool to really do this well. Now if they're loose, you're going to want to push up and try to clear the spindle here. Now this will come off. You'll see the clips here, one here, and this one actually stayed in the door. But if you're missing any clips or if you break one, you can go to like Napa, AutoZone, and get some replacement clips. Put this off to the side. The outer is actually held on by a series of screws here, but as you can see, the glass is in the way here, and the best way to do this is to finish taking off the lower panel. So you have 2 more screws here. Now there's going to be some clips around the perimeter. These you can see from the top. Then with the door handle, Now that it's free, you just want to slide it toward the front of the vehicle, and it'll come right off. We can put that off to the side. You'll see all the clips here. Now we got to take off the insulation and the paper here to get to the actual stop that we need to. Looks like someone had this off once they're ready and decided to tape it on, so we'll just take some of this tape off here. Okay, so we got the actual insulation off, and the one and only screw that you really need to worry about is this one right here. And what this does is it controls the stop, so it doesn't allow the window to go down too far. That's what we want to do, is lower the window just a little bit more to get to these screws in order to get the outer off. So it should be a 10mm ratchet. We'll just loosen this up here. Now you don't want to take it all the way out because it's going to fall in the door and make your life very difficult. So just loosen it up, and it's going to drop down. And you may want to mark where it was so you know, or in this case it's pretty easy because of, you can see where the washer was. So now what you want to do is just kind of put the window crank back on just so it grabs, and then you want to lower the window all the way down so you can get to these screws. Okay, we're to the point where we can take off the screws that are holding the belt line on. It's a good idea to get yourself a magnetic screwdriver. So if you drop one of these screws into the door, you're going to have a long day trying to get it out. The end screw is accessed by moving the end of the door weather strip out of the way. Now you just take it off, and you're ready to put the new one on. We're going to put the outer belt line on our Monte Carlo here. We took some time to clean off the dirt and any residue that was on the door from the old part. The orientation of the belt line is these bumpers go toward the rear of the door, or the B pillar, and the front here has a black plastic clip that's going to go right up here. So you simply just have to put it back on the door and then replace the screws. You'll need to pull the window toward you. Okay, we'll start by putting the one screw in here. Okay, now you're going to have to put the glass stop back up where it was, and that's why we mentioned that you should mark where your washer was. In this case, it's pretty easy due to the paint overspray. What I'm doing here is putting my finger underneath the hook right here to help hold it up. If you spin this and this hook gets behind the door, that's not going to be what you want. Snug it up. You don't need to really tighten it that hard. Then you can put back your insulation here. In this case, we'll have to get a little more tape because someone had this off at one point already. You shouldn't have to tape this once you get it off because the butyl should still be pretty sticky, but this is someone to remove this a couple times. So, and now we're going to tackle the inner. Okay, we're going to remove the inner belt line from the door panel here. What you're going to need is a Dremel or something with a cutting disc to help cut these staples out. That's going to be the easiest thing to do. These are heavy duty upholstery staples, so they're kind of difficult to get out. You don't want to damage the back of your door panel at all. Your screwdriver, pliers, assorted vice grips, rivet and rivet guns. The rivet we're using today has an 1/8 inch grip range. That's about what you want. Make sure it's either aluminum or stainless steel because this could get wet and you don't want anything to rust. And then a drill with a drill bit. So I went ahead and I pre-cut with my Dremel all these staples right in half. And what I'm going to do now is pry the actual belt line off because we don't really care if this gets bent or damaged. And I'm going to go back behind it with my pliers and pull the staples through. Now we're going to pull off the actual belt line, and we don't really care if it gets messed up or not. We just want to make sure that the bottom here is good. So you kind of come behind it with a screwdriver and kind of pry up a little bit. Okay, as you can see, we got all the staples out here. Now we're ready to align the new piece here. Now our part's going to have this little clip in it, which the OEM does as well, and it goes right here. There's a little center punch for it. And that's going to help line up the actual belt line in relationship to the door panel. Now ours do not have any holes for stapling. We're going to drill them and rivet them. Most people don't have access to such a big stapler, so this is a little more convenient for everybody. Going to line that up, make sure it's in there. And what you're going to do here is we're going to use some vice grips to actually hold the molding down so we can drill it. You can use clamps or anything that you want, but you want to make sure that it's on securely that way and also vertically so it's nice and tight. And you know that by when you have it tight, it'll cover the wear line on your upholstery here. So we'll put one right here. Okay, so now we can put her back down. Okay, like I said before, we're using 1/8 inch grip rivets. So you're gonna drill through the actual belt line and your door panel. And in this case, we're going to use the number 29 drill bit. Use about 8 holes, one here, one here, here, one on each side of your center clip, one here, here, here. Give it a nice good tight fit. Okay, we have all the holes pre-drilled. You want to drill in the flat section right here, same place you clamped it to keep it nice and flat. Usually what I do is go and put all the rivets in right away. That way all the holes should line up yet. we got them all riveted. We can take off the clamps. You want to make sure that you clean off all the shavings here before you reinstall this. You don't want the shavings touching the glass. And there we go, nice tight flush fit, right where it's supposed to be, nice and tight. And we're ready to reinstall it. Okay, now that we got the inner back on the upper door panel, we're just going to put the lower door panel back here. Basically reverse of how you took it off. Kind of pull the door handle. You're going to want to start with the door handle, so kind of pull it back a little bit so you can get it into the hole on the panel itself here. Alright, so we got that started. Our clip here fell off again, so we'll put that back on. You just want to line up the holes, tap it in. Same thing along the bottom. Might have to reach up here to make sure everything lines up. Kind of work your way from one end to the other. The clips are all good and tight. Now we're going to have to replace the armrest here. You gotta remember to put your 2 screws back into the door panel before you put the armrest back on. Okay, now we're ready to put the actual armrest on. And it's like when you took it off, you're going to have to put it down and slide it back. It's the exact opposite of what you did, as there's some hooks right here that need to go under here, and there's one hook here that needs to go right in a slot there. I'm going to put it down and put it back. And you don't want to over tighten these, it's nice and snug. That part's complete. Alright, we got the inner belt line affixed to the upper door panel. So now we got to put it back on in the reverse order we took it off. One thing you need to be aware of is there's little prongs here that need to go over these glass guides right here. So you want to kind of do that from the top down. Another good trick is once you get the actual locking mechanism lined up with a hole, loosely put this back on and it'll keep everything lined up for you. Kind of use the clip removal tool to pull the panel out and help get the upper behind the lower. Once you get it in, you can put the clips back in the panel here. Now I can tighten this back down. Put the window crank back on, make sure your retainer spring is in there. When you put it back on, just put it in position and you can just push it on like that. Looks good. Next, just put the screws back in the door pull here. And then you can put your cover back on. Snap into place. And you're done. We hope you found this video informative. Feel free to contact us through Facebook or via the links below in the description of the video. Also, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel for all new upcoming videos. And remember to demand the precision product from your favorite auto parts supplier. Thank you.